Chapter 6. God the Holy Trinity. Problematic ways of explaining the Trinity. As we transition from discussion of each of the three persons in the one being of God to the discussion of the entire Trinity, it must be said that we are treading on interesting and holy ground. The Christian doctrine of the Trinity is one of the very most pivotal and important beliefs in all the Christian faith. It provided both the content and the form of the classic Christian creeds, like the Apostles' Creed and the Nicene Creed. It appears in nearly every statement of faith of every church and denomination, and yet is one of the most neglected doctrines in those same churches and denominations, in the sense that it is seldom or never discussed. Why is this? It might be said that it's because the Trinity is a mystery, something that utterly transcends our limited minds. If it is so far beyond us, it would seem foolish to spend much time on it. However, as mysterious as it is, as much as it dwarfs our attempts to explore it to its depths, it is indeed an indispensable belief of Christian faith, and we must explore and understand it as well as we can. It is far more accessible and important to everyday Christian life than many would suspect. A major reason why many modern Christians do not understand or appreciate the doctrine of the Trinity is because it has been explained in very problematic ways. The first major way the Trinity is explained poorly is when we use bad or unfortunate images to try to communicate it to young people in a children's sermon or another similar context. We might say, God is like water. Water can be a solid, ice, liquid, water, or gas, steam, so it is 3 in 1. It is the same way with God. He can be Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Another popular explanation is, God is like an egg. Just as there is only one egg, but it has a yolk, a white, and a shell, there is only one God, but that one God is made up of a Father, a Son, and a Holy Spirit. We hear explanations like that, and our response is not to be lost in wonder at the majesty and mystery of God, falling to our knees in praise and adoration. Instead, we're more likely to say, wow, I know the Trinity is supposed to be really important, but after hearing that, it doesn't make any sense to me. As it turns out, if we actually take those two illustrations seriously, we end up with understandings of God that have been considered heretical since the 4th century. Modalism for the former and tritheism for the latter, which will be discussed later. Another way people have attempted to understand and explain the Trinity is by starting by presupposing the Trinity, then attempting to try to find some way to show how 3 can be 1. This is taking up such images as the Nile, the human mind, history, candles, and many others. These are either more or less, though usually less, effective at communicating an adequate understanding of the Trinity, but regardless of their orthodoxy, they simply do not reflect in any way how the fact that God is triune should impact our lives and shape who we are. If it does not bring life, then it must not be bringing us in touch with the living God.